in the US and Canada. It's really awful footage.
It is the worst winter storm apparently they have had. It's a once-in-a-generation storm. And what has happened is the polar vortex, which is the pool of cold air over the Arctic, has swooped down over the United States, brought very, very, very cold temperatures. I had -40.
Wow.
Hell has frozen over. There's a town in Michigan called Hell, and it has frozen over.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. Lizards are raining from the sky because the wildlife is freezing on the trees. It is a very, very severe winter snap that they have got. And they've also got very, very heavy snow. And you'll have heard the term probably snow bomb or bomb cyclone.
We had that, yeah.
We did. I mean, I wondered as well, because very, very often, I mean, I used to work at the Express, wonderful newspaper,
wonderful.
but we did used to quite often slap weather stuff on the front page under the title of things like weather bomb and all this stuff. Well, now it's actually happened, right? And I think people can see what one genuinely looks like. Not to diminish what's going on in the States. Fascinating pictures there, by the way. Keep them coming, because it is just remarkable to see. It looks like something out of a disaster film. But to localise it a little bit here, are we going to have a very, very snowy January?
This is something that you'll always hear me say. 5 to 10 days is the only real time frame that you can say with any certainty what is happening.
Right.
Now, this coldest January story was actually broken on the GB News website a couple of weeks ago. That is one report of an independent forecaster who says there's a suggestion that we could get some very cold weather in January due to a possible sudden stratospheric warming, which is where the polar vortex again warms and collapses and falls down, similar to what we saw in 2018 with the beast from the east. But that is one report. Now, the Met Office's longer-term report says something completely different. The Met Office says we're more likely to get milder, more unsettled weather, rain, switching between mild and cold. And if you look at independent forecasters across the board, they're all sort of watching this to see what's going to happen, because it's so uncertain. So there's suggestions of that, but I wouldn't like to put my life savings on it just yet.
No.
What worries me about this country, though, is we just cannot cope, can we? I mean, we're seeing the scenes there in the US, and you cannot imagine how we would cope with that here. I mean, we had, what did we have a couple of weeks ago? We had not very much, but it felt like, you know, where it did snow, ground to a halt.
Well, I was actually sat here 12 days ago, and it was absolute chaos because there was snow outside. And not only that, we were sitting here talking about the prospects of a white Christmas because it was so cold, and all the weather reports saying it was going to be cold and everything looked like it was going to do. And just like that, it turned mild in times of Christmas. So not only are we not prepared, we just have such difficulty predicting our weather because it changes on a hairpin, just like that.